transparency happen behind the scenes. So today, I am going to walk you through how your NGO, your organization, your startup NGO can run smarter, faster, and with more confidence using the right tools. Like, for example, using QuickBooks Online. So let's be honest. These screens look familiar. You know, you have multiple donors, multiple spreadsheets, late nights. You know, I've met NGOs teams spending hours every month just reconciling reports. Deadlines get tight, donors reports overlap, one missing link, and suddenly the audit is delayed and everything is in a mess. And that is one of the things that we have observed as one of the challenges with NGOs. This is where we all start, but it doesn't have to be where we have to stay. So I'm going to switch real quick to the solution, you know, the feel of QuickBooks Online and how it can get you from that messy, not well managed data entry and management system to a more streamlined platform that helps you manage your NGO and your operation more effectively. So I'm switching the screens here in a minute. And I hope you can now all see that look of a different green and black screen. Now, loading up in a minute. Now, imagine if every donor report, every project balance, every transaction was connected. Imagine if your reports updated themselves, no version conflict, no error, just instant clarity. This is what we mean by transformation, not more data, but more peace of mind. Let's take a look at what your NGO heartbeat looks like inside QuickBooks Online. Right here on the main dashboard, everything you need is summarized in one place. Bank balances, profit and loss, and the spending breakdown. On the left, we can spot, we have a clear snapshot of our bank account. In this case, our main account is Equity Bank, shows the balance of 4.2 million. That's our real-time cash position, automatically updated every time a transaction is recorded in QuickBooks. And in some instances, some of the banks now have APIs where they are able to synchronize with your QuickBooks Online. There'll be no manual tracking, no reconciliation stress. It's all live. Like, you don't have to worry about you missing something because an Excel spreadsheet wasn't saved. If we had multiple grants or restricted funds, each bank or sub-account would appear here, giving instant visibility into the donors, balances, or specific project accounts. Let's look at the profit and loss. Now, in the middle section, you see the profit and loss where I'm moving my mouse. We can see profit and loss summary for the current month. the income, the expenses, which leaves a net profit. And I know that's why we are NGOs, we are not for profit, but at least it summarizes your liquidity and your progress financially. And as you can look, this is pretty a strong performance. You are on the green, like it shows how, what do you have, what's your liquidity. Imagine how easy it is. I mean, if you had to do donor reporting, it becomes more of actual figure right off of this dashboard, not waiting for spreadsheets to be compiled. Let's do the expenses. On the right, QuickBooks visualizes spending patterns for the last 30 days, and you can always filter this to your preference, which shows like within the last 30 days, we are X amount up from the previous month. That spike might indicate a one-time field activity, procurement, or donor disbursement. And below that, QuickBooks automatically categorizes the expenses themselves. Like for this case, we have office expense, repair, maintenance, rent, lease, wages, and others, which we will dive into. This gives finance teams and manager immediate insight into where funds are flowing. There will be no more guesswork or back and forth with receipts. Every cost is linked, tagged, and visible. So in less than a minute, you've seen what a real-time financial visibility looks like. All your key metrics automatically updated and beautifully visualized. That's the power of QuickBooks. It replaces uncertainty with clarity. Now, let's see how easy it is to turn this information into some donor-ready report. But before I even go to that, let's quickly look at the menu, the QuickBooks menu that you're seeing there on the left, right here. So before we dive deeper and get into the report, the QuickBooks online menu is everything an NGO accountant or user needs to run QuickBooks. And it's right here, organized for clarity and speed. This menu is the heartbeat of daily accounting tasks, bookmarks for your most used action at the top, and a structured flow underneath. At the top, under bookmarks, we have shortcuts for frequently used tools, suppliers, bank transactions, reconciliation, and of course, the chart of account. These are the places you visit most often. For instance, if a supplier gives you a list of all the vendors, whether that's a local service provider or a field supplier, for the bank part of it, transactions pull live feed from your bank if it's connected to your bank. I had previously mentioned that. And makes the reconciliation effort very, very, very minimal. Then we have the reconcile also on this menu. It ensures the NGO. Let me open up the bookmarks themselves. There we go, the reconcile itself. Ensures the NGOs can reconcile every coin accounted for. Then we have the chart of accounts. This is the backbone of, and I'm going to open up the chart of accounts real quick. There we go. The chart of accounts, the backbone of your accounting setup, organizes all income, expenses, and donor fund codes. Like having, accounting control panel, just a click away. Bookmarks actually is your main menu, structured in a logical accounting flow. And it gives a snapshot. Like, for example, if you go back to the client, back here, if you go back to the client overview, it gives you a snapshot of your entire organization financial health, performance, and recent activities, all summarized. This is your workspace for your monthly or donor reporting. It shows reviews, notes, and categorized transaction and reconciliation checks. Your real-time view of the dashboard, which we were before, which is right here, shows everything that we had talked about, which is expenses, profit, and they're all visualized for clarity. Let me go back to this is where we were before. Then we have, I'll go quickly over the rest of the menu. We have task that keeps your workflow organized, whether it's donor reporting, deadlines, audit, preparation, and internal checklist. So in short, we could go over each and every menu here, but they are there to support you and powerfully position you to do each and everything you would need to keep your accounts in check and to ensure there is easy workflow. Like, for example, sales. This is where NGO income is managed, grant receipts, sponsorship, or other donor-related revenue. We go to expenses. That tracks every supplier, every receipt, giving you full expense visibility. So whether you're tracking donor funding, paying field suppliers, preparing for an audit, or reviewing project budget controls, every essential tool is just a click away. And that's why QuickBooks Online isn't just an accounting software. It's a complete NGO financial ecosystem designed for accuracy, transparency, and ease. Now, we will dive into the results and what you see when you use QuickBooks as is supposed to. I'm getting my script in a minute. So let's look at the reports that QuickBooks gives you. As you can see, it has different types of reports that you can generate, and there are many. And in the interest of time, I may not be able to go through each and every one, but I'll give you a very high level review on the reports that you can get from QuickBooks. Here we have the standard reports, which are used almost every day. We have custom reports where you want to tweak things and get specific numbers and specific fields and specific classes and projects. And then we have management reports. These are the ones that are presented to the, like the board of director to see how healthy an NGO is. And then we have the performance center that covers the KPIs. I'll open the key reports. I'll expand the header for the key reports that we have in an NGO. For example, you will save your favorites that will show the balance sheet and the profit and loss. Then we'll go to the business overview that shows, among other things, which I will go into details, from the audit log to balance sheet to budget versus actual to business snapshot, profit and loss by class, month, location, comparison, detailed, statement of cash flow, how healthy your organization is looking. So that gives you a very high level of your NGO. Then we go to who owes you, accounts receivable, open invoices, collections report, customer balance summary, invoice list, and everything that relates to accounts receivable. Then we have sales and customer. This is primarily will be used for donors and grants. So you can tailor these to meet your intentions and your donors by income by donor, the list of donors, deposits of donors. All that can be captured here under sales and customers. Then we look at the expenses. Purchase by product, what you buy most, purchase by class, transactions of all your suppliers and their contacts, and expenses by summary or even detailed. And then we look at my account. I'll skip my employees, but I can mention a little bit. You can put all your employees' contacts on that part, or you can actually grab the report about your employee. Then you have the accountant favorite, the P&L. If your accountant just wants to jump into something he can see quickly, then this is where they will get that. And then if you have integrated a payroll, you will get the payroll report from that menu. So let's for example go ahead and look at one of the reports, and it will be the income report. Let's open one of them. So here is where QuickBooks truly speaks the language of the NGO, the income by donor and expense by project. Because most NGOs run either through donor and through project. They classify things based on where the source is and where the expense is. So the donor being the source, the project being the expense. Every donor, every project, every coin clearly broken down, easy to trace. At the top, we can see multiple sources. That is African, like for example, African Relief Development Foundation, Kampala, ECD, Microsoft, Safaricom Foundation, UNICEF, and Water is Life. Each donor line, which is right here, summarizes total income received, expense spent, and net income or balance remaining. This is exactly what donors want to see: clarity, accuracy, and accountability. For example, under Kampala ECD, we have a sub-project called Education Access 2025. QuickBooks automatically groups related transactions together, giving us the subtotal, which is here 608,000, and the expenses that are also related, leaving the balance, showing the balance on the side for the project. There'll be no formulas. You don't have to do any more formulas, no filters, no cross tab, no Excel work. QuickBooks does that automatically. As long as the income is and expenses are entered, you leave everything else to QuickBooks. If you scroll further, you'll see other donors: Microsoft, Safaricom Foundation, and UNICEF. Right here, they're all here. Are cleanly summarized. Even in large organizations, it can manage donors reporting without needing a financial department of 10 to 20 people trying to enter expenses and income. Down here, you see that also QuickBooks handles project level tracking. The three: Water is Life, Water Sanitation, and Initiative, these are the projects. It shows the income, and it shows how much we've expensed on that project. And of course, it shows the net surplus of that project. So if a donor specifically wanted to fund a specific project, they are quickly able to tell how their money has been used in that particular project. This report alone transforms how NGOs communicate with the donors. No more back and forth, emails, or multiple spreadsheets. It's an instant, visual, and auditable sort of information. And the best part, you can export all the to a PDF and Excel if needed, for the next board meeting, and you can access it very quickly without having to switch in between platforms. So QuickBooks gives clarity, control, confidence in every transaction that is undertaken by an NGO. So let's go ahead and jump into something else. Let's switch gear here a little bit, and I'm going to show you another type of report. So we'll look at the expenses by supplier summary. And as you can see, we have how QuickBooks tracks and summarizes your NGO spending. In this view, we can instantly see who has spent money with, who the NGO has spent money with, how much, and for what purpose, all in one table. At the top, we have our filters covering the full year to date, right there, from January to today, actually, the 23rd, yes. And on the accrual basis, that means every expense is recorded the moment it's incurred, not just when it is paid, exactly how donor reporting requires, that expenses are recorded the moment they incur. Now, look at how clear this summary is. There's a landlord expense right here. Expenses stand at 100,000 for the landlord. Then we have plumbers who handled our facility repairs. Then Real Systems Uganda, perhaps our IT support vendor, comes in at 300,000. There's the internet, and then there's our technical provider, TechWin, and it brings down a breakdown. Or even the unclassified, where you have something that you cannot classify, but you want to put it there. So that's the whole role of the expense report by supplier. So this is just one report that I am showing among many other reports that QuickBooks can pull up for you. And then you see it will roll up to the total down there, which is 1.16. And the beauty is this is just a static number. It's not static. It's live. So when a transaction is entered after you see this report, it updates automatically. There is no Excel refresh, no copy-paste errors. It just does its own thing because it's set to do that. So for NGO, this report does two things that are very powerful. First, it keeps your spending very transparent. Every supplier, every transaction traceable. And second, it helps your finance team to spot trends, like which vendors take the biggest share of operational costs. Imagine walking into your next audit or your donor meeting with this type of clarity. Every coin accounted for, updated in real time. This is the kind of accountability that QuickBooks bring to the table, which is simple, visual, and very credible. So we switch gears to the audit. Let's talk about accountability for a minute here. Every NGO is answerable to donors, board, and auditors, and QuickBooks has one powerful built-in accountability tool, which is called the audit log. Here, QuickBooks automatically tracks every activity by every user in real time. You can see who logged in, what they changed, and when it happened with exact timestamp. So on the left, you're seeing the timestamp, and then the user, who is myself, and what I did in QuickBooks. Example, you can see me, you can see Marianne here logged in, and whatever they did in QuickBooks. Each event here, like adding budget, or statement, or is logged automatically. You can click view on the right here, to see exactly what the user did. That means if an expense is edited or a donor report is updated, the system keeps a permanent digital trail. Who did it, what changed, and when. For NGOs, this isn't just convenience, it's compliance. Compliance is made visible. You can be able to see what's going on within your system. Auditors love these features. Donors trust it because it eliminates doubt. There is no room for guesswork or undocumented changes. So instead of flipping through files or searching for who made an adjustment, you just open the audit log. Every entry is right there, neatly recorded and timestamped. So in one click, you can prove transparency, who approved the budget, who edited the report, who logged transactions, all tracked. And this is what accountability looks like in QuickBooks: clear, verifiable, and built for trust. So we'll switch gears into how do we use QuickBooks, or how do I have other people use my QuickBooks, or how do I add employees or my partners QuickBooks. This is one of the key features. The managed users is a key feature that ensures collaboration, control, and accountability within NGOs. And it empowers your team to collaborate securely through the manage users feature. And this is where you decide who has access, what they can see, and what they can do. Right now, you can see we have Marianne, our primary admin, fully active and billable. She has full access to all financial areas, including reporting, invoicing, and donor management. But the power here is that you can add different types of users, accountants, bookkeepers, or even program officers, each with customized permission. I'm going to be on mute for a minute. My laptop is running low on charge. 1 second. So for NGOs, this means that your financial officers can post expense, your program lead can track project budget, and your accountant can access the books all without interfering with one another. It secures role-based access that promotes both collaboration and accountability. Now, depending on your QuickBooks plan, we have different versions of QuickBooks. QuickBooks Online Plus allows up to 5 users, while QuickBooks Online Advanced supports up to 30 users. So whether you are a small organization or a multi-country NGO with operation in different places, QuickBooks scales perfectly with your team. And every action each user takes, from creating an invoice to editing a report, it's automatically tracked in the audit log. So collaboration is built in with a lot of transparency. So we'll switch gears to invoices, or just a snapshot of how invoices look like. So this is a presentation of how when you try to create an invoice, when you're trying to invoice, and it is the very same way that expenses look like, you are able to see who your customer is. And the main reason that I brought this up is because I wanted us to review a little bit about multi-currency, because this is the number one question that comes up. Now, let's look at something every NGO working across borders needs, which is multi-currency. And QuickBooks Online makes it incredibly simple to manage transactions in any currency. Here under the invoice, you see there is a customer, and you'll notice we can assign a unique currency to every donor, partner, or project. For example, African Relief Development Foundation is set to Kenya shilling. UNICEF might be in dollars, and a project like education access is in Ugandan shilling. And no matter what currency you pick, QuickBooks will automatically apply the currency current exchange rate because it's online. So it goes to the world out there and averages the currency for the day. It uses the best sources to know the current exchange. So you don't have to sit down and crunch numbers to figure out how much is Ugandan shillings to the dollar. So every invoice, bill, or donation entered in that currency is instantly converted to your home currency in the background, ensuring your QuickBooks reports and donor summary stays 100% accurate. You don't need to do any calculation, update rates manually, daily. QuickBooks does it for you. And that means, like, for example, when a donor sends $1,000 in USD, QuickBooks records it, converts it into either Kenya shilling, Ugandan shilling, Southern Sudan currency based on the day's rate, and updates your income report automatically. This same goes for expenses, whether you're paying in a local currency or receiving a grant from somebody who is paying in pounds. Every currency stays in sync, so your project balances, donor statements, and budgets are always correct. So for NGOs working regionally from Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan, this feature eliminates guesswork, simplifies donor reporting, and ensures consistency across countries. QuickBooks will do the math, so you don't have to worry about you doing anything on the back end. So let's switch to something that is really important for most NGOs, which is budgeting. Every donor-funded environment requires that every coin has its own purpose, and every plan must align with accountability. QuickBooks Online budgeting and actual performance, actual reporting performance together, all in one place. And this is what you're seeing in front of you. What we're looking at is a live example. Financial year 2025. This is the heading, or rather how we saved this budget for the East Hope Foundation. You can see that QuickBooks lets us build budgets for any period, monthly, quarterly, or yearly, and compare them to actual results in real time. Now, we can be able to change this reference data, and with one click, we can view what we have planned versus what actually has been achieved. Let's see. And there we go. We have the income, we have the expenses, we have the budget, we have what is over budget, percentage of budget, actual, everything from every month, from January to March. We're able to break down how your actual compared to the forecasted matching. So this is a place and a tool that powerfully gives you a one snapshot of your performance. So if you look at that budget, let's scroll down a little bit. If you look at the budget and even the bottom line here, it's more than just numbers. They are project backbones, reporting and donor accountability. QuickBooks allows you to build individual budgets per project or donor, track quarterly spending progress, compare budget versus actual instantly, and you can export the data for donor reports, for board reviews in a click. There'll be no manual spreadsheet, no formula errors. It's all structured, accurate, and up to date. So for NGOs, this means you can show a donor exactly how funds are being used, quarter by quarter, month by month, year by year, and instantly identify where you are under or over the budget. So whether it is education access, water sanitation initiative, every program can have its own performance dashboard. And that's what turns financial management into a strategic storytelling, and QuickBooks makes it effortless. So we'll switch gears here a little bit, and I think we have covered most of the key areas of QuickBooks. Yes, we've gone over the dashboard, the menu, the income, the expenses, the security, the managing users, the invoice, the budget, and of course, the expenses. So this is how powerful QuickBooks can be. And as we wrap up, there are concerns. And one of the biggest concerns is now, how do I switch? What happens to our data if I'm already using maybe QuickBooks Desktop or I'm using any other platform? So at Motive, we make the transition smooth, safe, and stress-free. For clients using QuickBooks Desktop, we offer completely free migration. That is from QuickBooks Desktop to QuickBooks Online. That means all your customers, suppliers, transactions, and reports move with you, no data loss, no downtime. Well, there could be maybe an hour we tell you not to use it, but there is no significant downtime. And it's quick, seamless, and fully supports your operations seamless. For organizations using other accounting platforms, like let's say you're using Excel, Sage, or custom system, we also provide migration support. But because every system is unique, we start by reviewing your existing platform data to determine the best approach, then advise if there will be any migration costs involved. So from 9 spreadsheets to one source of truth, from manual reconciliation to automated insights, from chaos to clarity, and that clarity changes everything. How you plan, how you report, how you lead. You can see from the left what probably some or few of us go through and what you could change this to into an easier way of running your NGO. So most NGOs struggle because they can't keep up with the system. You are not managing numbers, you're managing people and impact, and you're almost like storytelling. QuickBooks helps you focus on what matters most, which is the mission, and it lets you concentrate more on what matters rather than you having to run the administration and the finance part and even have very inconsistent systems. So QuickBooks help you to manage your NGO better and deliver where it matters. So some of the challenges as we wrap up, let's say, for example, you have a challenge on multiple donor, so you can separately track them with classes, different currency, auto conversion, no stress, need donor reports, one click away, audit pressure, built-in trail, you're compliant. It's not complex. It's more clarity. So these are things that you will see from QuickBooks, from where you are right now, what QuickBooks can do for you, and the benefit you will enjoy from using QuickBooks. So at Remotic Solutions, we just don't resell QuickBooks. We help you implement, train, and succeed across Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan, Tanzania. So we are a regional company that has had 12 years of experience, all the way from QuickBooks Desktop to now QuickBooks Online. And we've already supported organizations such as Child Fund, African Relief Development Foundation, and South Sudan Women's Empowerment Program. That's just a few of the mentions that we have, but we have a list of small, medium, and large NGOs that we provide QuickBooks support, and they are our customers. So whether you need setup all the way to migration to training, we are here to work with you on every step. So what's next? Book your free 15-minute NGO setup review. Maybe if you have specific or very, very detailed questions that would require one-on-one, we'll give you the NGO starter pack, and then you can, make your next audit, easy than it is right now. Make your next budget better than it is right now. So those are the steps for engagement if you want to move from the place you are to a more productive and more efficient and effective NGO. So I think I've given a good overview of what QuickBooks and how it is and what benefits it can bring to the organization. And I'll jump in here to the chat. If anyone has a quick question, they can drop it to the chat. I don't know whether we have anything, or you can unmute yourself and ask a question if you have any. Marianne, do you have any questions on the board?
We have a question in the chat from Stephen.
Could you read the question for me, please?
Okay. He has given some amounts that he needs breakdown on how we can enter them. We can enter on QuickBooks. So
okay.
He says,
all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Can I read it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So a check has an amount of 100,000 on it. So the amount includes 20,000 for office administration, 45,000 for activity, 35 for salaries. So he wants all these are falling in different donor projects. So he wants to see how we can record the same by class.
Oh, okay. Stephen, thank you for that question. I will quickly answer it on a very high level overview, but Marianne is there and myself to support you if we can get in touch with you one-on-one. So there is what we call, you can either create classes in QuickBooks, and that way you're able to say the check is 100,000, the 20,000 goes to class office administration, 45,000 goes to an activity called borehole drilling or something. And then the remaining goes to a class called salary. But they could be in different projects. So very high overview, but if you get in touch with Marianne, he can walk you through one-on-one on that. So for the NGO review, I believe, Marianne, are you able to capture everybody who is on this call? There's a question how we can book the review. One can book a one-on-one review. Are you able to capture everybody's contact from your end? What I will do in the meantime, we will drop in our email address. I'm dropping in our email address just in case. I'm sure Marianne is able to capture your details, but I'm dropping in the email address here on the chat so that you can go ahead and book a review or talk to Marianne to schedule for that. There you go. That's the email address. Our phone number, just in case you want to WhatsApp Marianne, is right here. Drop that. So somebody else, or rather, we have Steven. Actually, we do have somebody who's asked. Yes, Steven. Yes, yes. Reach out to Marianne for that. We do give, if needed, we can give a certificate of participation because this is more of a demo rather than training itself. And the training, if you need training for QuickBooks, depending on the audience and your level of experience, it will take anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. So that is how long the complete training takes. So we are looking forward to getting in touch with you. Marianne has a list of all of us that are on this call. She will drop you an email. She will drop you an email checking for interest for a one-on-one review. And from there, we will proceed and help you as much as you can, whether you're a new user, an existing user, or somebody who just wants more insight on QuickBooks Online. So unless there's anything else, thank you very much for your time, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you, and have a good day.